Research within elite women's football is still relatively low in comparison to the male counterparts, and there's been increasingly calls to generate research that seeks to improve overall health and performance within the women's game. Moreover, within the subdisciplines of the sport and exercise sciences, the subject of nutrition in the women's game is less commonly researched, with nutritional guidelines often derived from male-based research sources. This lack of nutritional research within the women's game is of a huge concern, especially with the knowledge that female athletes, not just in football, are extremely open to chronic low energy availability, which may then continue to manifest in symptoms commonly associated with the female athlete triad or the relative energy deficiency in sport, also known as REDS. In turn, and as a result of these symptoms, female athletes may be at further risk not only of performance deficits, but also of the negative health outcomes such as eating disorders, extreme weight loss, amenorrhea, and low bone mineral density. This research paper is qualitative by nature, and to explore the players and key stakeholders such as parents, guardians, sports scientists, technical coaches, nutritionists and medical staff, and their perceptions of the role of nutrition and how it may influence player development and performance. Qualitative research is often used in exploratory investigations and to understand the lived experience of the participants. Qualitative research is excellent for generating new ideas and may help with understanding of other people's motivations, beliefs, thoughts or behaviour, and provides highly detailed insight to describe a topic rather than measure it. On the other hand of the research spectrum is the quantitative approach, which is much more concerned with measuring things and is useful for drawing overall conclusions such as cause and effect. And the quantitative approach may seek to confirm or disprove hypotheses. Anyway, back to this study. The authors interviewed 47 participants via Zoom, with each interview approximately half an hour or so. The participants, as previously mentioned, came from a range of different key stakeholders and players from the WSL and FA Women's Championship. With the qualitative research methodology, the interview questions were semi-structured and open, whereas quantitative normally consists of closed questions and often on a scale such as the Likert. Once the data was collected from the questioning, the data was then coded and the themes were developed. Now, coding is pretty much the process of identifying the themes within the accounts given by the participants and attaching labels or codes to index them. The themes are the actively constructed patterns or meanings that arise from the data set. And themes tend to be the perceptions and or the experiences that the researcher sees as relevant to the actual research question. Now, 4 themes that emerged were fueling is important, but underfueling is common. Carbohydrate confusion, do carbs make me fat? Skinfold culture, body image issues and social media pressure. And nutritional support, the current challenges and the future solution. From the data, it emerged that fueling was a prominent nutritional issue, and there appears to be some misconceptions amongst players and key stakeholders around both the theoretical underpinnings and the practical application of nutrition in the women's game. Furthermore, some of the hindrance of fueling may actually emerge from the negative assumptions of carbohydrate consumption on body composition. The author's data also suggests that the fear of getting fat may arise from various influences such as external pressures from coaches, support staff, parents, social media, and the culture around body composition measurement. As with all papers, there are some limitations, such as the generalisability of the research, as it doesn't represent all elite female football players. And the authors acknowledge this and point to their use of purposive sampling. However, if the research requires specific information from a particular subset of your population of interest, then this is the type of sampling that is the best option. Furthermore, those interviewed who were under the age of 16 had a parent or guardian present during the interview, and this may have impacted the responses that were given. One other limitation is that the authors note is the broad questions and participant-led nature of the questioning. However, this does leave scope for the issues and themes identified to be explored in greater depth. In general, though, I like this study, and it provides good insight into the assumptions and culture regarding the issues such as body composition and fueling or underfueling within the women's game. The authors have done an excellent job in highlighting the assumptions, confusion, and sometimes indifferent views underpinning theory and practical awareness of nutritional guidelines for soccer. From the data, the authors suggest that perhaps a lack of professionally accredited staff may then point towards the confusion and link their data to a framework and behaviour change wheel. There are also suggestions that when considering body composition and skinfold measurements, colour coding may also be an issue. For example, asking someone to get in the green may lead to adverse nutritional behaviours by the athlete just to hit a target. From the data, the authors also draw on the suggestion that coaches associate body composition with performance, and players highlight manager or coaches who have given weight targets to players is likely to impact the player's behaviour or their perceived outcomes in relation to team selection. In conclusion, this research not only provides some excellent insight into the lived experience of players and key stakeholders in English women's football, it also provides the scope to improve the organisational, stakeholder, player-centred education and to continue to promote a positive performance nutrition culture. While the research is, or more research is definitely needed, this study provides a really good starting point to ask more questions within the identified areas.